Jai Mataram!
I request everyone
Mataram!
to be seated. Once again, it's silences, sometimes you don't know how to start. But first a word of praise for the Thinkers Forum. Speaking performance. But what's important is, I will certainly talk about what the government has done, what it has got more to do, and where is India today as compared to where India was between 2013-14, ending middle of 2014. But before that, I want to just put it before you, and I'm sure you understand the gravity of what I want to place before you, and that is 2019 election to the Lok Sabha is not just any other election. It's certainly not just any other election. And in this election, we really cannot, when I say we, each one of us, cannot take it lightly. We, each one of us, will have to be a campaigner. If we did that, and I know each one of you did that before 2014 election, but now, I'm sorry, I will have to call upon you, call upon myself, call upon many of our friends, like all of you before me, to do at least 10 times more than what we did in 13-14. You'll say, hey, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? That time you were in opposition, we had to bring you to power now under the leadership of Modi. But what about now? You've been in government, don't you know to come back? Not that a political party, doesn't know to fight an election. The BJP will fight an election. Particularly under the leadership of Modi ji, we will definitely give a very good fight and win. But we don't want just to win, we need that kind of a majority.
Etc. And the second thing is, looks like the push has come to shove when it comes to dealing with Pakistan. That we can't sort of business as usual approach will not work anymore. So what is our vision to deal with Pakistan in terms of terror?
Well, you're right on Pulwama, the anger, the disappointment, the feeling that why don't you do something? You have to give it back to Pakistan. All this is well absorbed by the government, absorbed by the Prime Minister, and I think that is why he has said, I think, everything that has to be said orally. The sacrifice will not go waste. Those who handle this will have to pay a price, heavy price. These are words of the Prime Minister. He shall not sit back without, making them pay the price. And as regards what have you learned from it? Well, one can always go into the tactics, one can always go to see if they've changed the way in which terror is being handled. Terrorists will adopt any means. We have to be ready, and the only answer I can probably give you is, Pulwama happened, it shouldn't have happened. But the army, the CRPF, the armed para forces, together with J&K police, did handle the Amarnath Yatra. Let's not forget that. And the intensity with which Amarnath Yatra, this time particularly, the duration was quite long. During that, before that, and even after that, they have been successful in containing a lot of potential threats. A lot of incidents have been prevented. But of course I can't tell you, out of 10, how many were prevented. I may have the data, but I may not be able to say it. So Pulwama has happened and it shouldn't have happened, I agree. But is it any good for me to say it to you? We did stop a lot. So this is something on which we have to continue to be alert, about the changing tactics, and continue to understand that every time a concession is given, for whatever reason, building goodwill, humanitarian, you don't want our citizens to suffer. So when a convoy is going, you allow the civilians also to simultaneously come in, overtake, simultaneously run parallel, 3-lane, 4-lane, 5-lane road, highway. Have also these been contributory to Pulwama? A lot of things are being looked into. So, I can only assure you, not by giving one extra point, but PM has said it comprehensively. The sacrifice shall not go waste.
When it comes to dealing with Pakistan in terms of not just teaching Pakistan lesson, but making sure that it doesn't continue to bleed us on
No, but I also will draw your attention to the fact that I'm not sure, as much as I remember, if ever Pakistan was so isolated in the international forums. It has been put on the grey list of the financial action on terror funding, the FATF. And it is continuing. Recently, only a couple of days ago, the review happened of the FATF. They've kept them continuing on the grey list. Every country now, because of the way in which we have openly spoken to all of them about the way in which Pakistan is the fountainhead of terrorism, not just against India, but in many parts of the globe. These are documents which we are giving to many countries and also proving in very many forums that this is what is happening. And as long as that continues, we don't see a reason why any country should entertain them. And as a result, I can definitely tell you that Pakistan feels very much under stress. Is that good enough is a different story. When we can even do more, we shall do more. And symbolically that day, at least some decisions were taken, and many decisions after that are continuously being taken. We shall continue our effort to highlight the fact that if Ajmal Kasab in India, an India where we know the judicial process takes a long time, could go through every court, the lower court onwards, till Supreme Court and post that even to the President for clemency. We could do that entire process and have him punished. But in Pakistan, no. Hafiz Said has not faced in one court yet. Completely, that is. They would have had some kind of a local hearing and clearing up. So these are things which we are constantly putting pressure on.
The next question is regarding the integration of Jammu and Kashmir. Perhaps time has come to sort of forthrightly deal with issues like Article 370, dealing with separatists, which we should take to the common public, who may not be fully informed even today. So what would be the top 3 or 4 points on that?
Well, first of all, that there was no deal during the UPA. So any price that they're quoting, the favorite argument of the Congress president, ours was 526, ours was 560, whatever, let us assume he said 600, because he said very different rates, versus your 1600 is absurd. They buy even craft. Did they buy even one aircraft? If you bought at least one aircraft, then your price can be compared with, even if I'm buying 1,000 aircrafts with my price. But you didn't even buy one. Would you want to please tell them, hey, did you buy one? Where is it? So, this approach of my price versus your price is absurd. If anything, it's an abuse of human intelligence. So, that's something which we have to repeatedly tell people, saying, Bhaiya, what is this? Did he buy anything? I can sit and, build a castle in my head and then say my castle is more beautiful than your house. So that's one thing. Second, was due process followed? Of course due process was followed. We've given the data to Supreme Court, we've given the data to CAG, we've said it in the Parliament, Arunji has said it in the Parliament. And it's there for you to cross-check. Step 1, step 2, step 3, everything has the date been given. So that due processes have been followed. 3, there have been a lot of dissension among the bureaucrats. When a contract negotiating team or the Indian negotiating team sits, everybody will give their input. Some would say, no, not like this, would you want to do it some other way? Third one would say, no, this negotiation seems to be funny, we should not do it this way, we should do it some other way. Everything is recorded. Now, after the dissensions, during the discussion, that's not dissension, that's difference of opinion during the discussion. But once the opinion has been finalized, and once that opinion is recorded as a draft note to the cabinet, because the cabinet has to approve this purchase, that draft note consisting of the final decision of the committee which negotiated, within which one or two members said that finally they all agree on one version. It is that version which goes as a cabinet note, a draft cabinet note for the consideration of the cabinet. That was signed by each and every one on behalf of everybody. Look at this irony. Look at this irony. On behalf of everybody in that negotiating team, the man who had a different opinion during the discussion is the one who's signing it. But still, there was a dissension. That is the chap who finally signs on that final version which goes to the cabinet. Why would he sign it if it is a dissension? When we are all sitting and saying, okay, you want to do this, you want to do that, no, I think we should do this. You may say, no, I think we should do that. All that finished, we all agree that we should do this. And the person who said, no, I don't think we should do this, we should do that, agrees and then signs. So where is the dissension? Again, just say, spit and run. So that is something which we have to highlight, that there was no dissension. During the discussion, different opinions prevailed, but one of whom who had a different opinion was the one who indeed signed this note which went to the cabinet for approval. That's the third. Fourth, you're not disclosing, what's the secrecy, why don't you say it? We've set the basic price. No, Qatar got it cheaper, UAE got it cheaper. When a company is negotiating with you, and a company decides to sell you a product at a certain price, and these are suppliers' goods. It's not like, okay, I don't want this, I'll go to the next supermarket, a third supermarket. It's not like that. You have a certain combination of things for which you go to a particular seller who in our country has already been listed. Even the UPS saw it. That is why they had this company as an L1. So that company, when it sells to you, negotiates with you for the different things that you want and fixes a price. With a different country, they'll have their negotiation with them according to their need, and to them they will give it in a slightly different price. And they don't disclose that, oh Qatar, I gave to India at this price, why are you being stupid, take it at that price. They'll never say that. Nor will I say, hey, you gave Qatar cheaper, please give it to me at that rate. How come? No, because I'm asking for certain specific additions which are peculiar for my need. So these are tailor-made additions to the basic aircraft, and therefore they will be different for each country. No, I saw it in Dassault's own annual report. Does it say that for India, with all the specific additions, we charge this much? No. So again, it's like I don't know, sometimes You tend to think you have children at home, adolescent children. You understand things. And those adolescent children genuinely are curious, genuinely want to know, no, because they already start pretending that they are adults. Finally, one argument which you can definitely take it all over is after 10 years they didn't have one aircraft coming into this country, but within 4 years, is it 4? 3. Within 3 years, 16 it was signed, the agreement. 17, 18, 19 September, your first Rafale is coming into this country.
Thank you. Just final question. Few words on your experience working in Modi ji's cabinet.